So apparently my parents talk about a lot of heavy stuff on their podcast. Listen at your own discretion. Like, comment, subscribe, and share or whatever. Anyways, welcome to Sober At.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. I'm Ryan. This is Jess. We are Sober as Fuck. Before we get to today's guest, I do want to remind everybody you can find us on every single platform out there. Also on our website at safpodcast.com. That's safpodcast.com. We have plenty of resources, merch, which is pretty awesome. And you can find our new podcast, which is called The Last Bet, which is my gambling addiction podcast. Mm-hmm. That you're producing.
Yeah. I'm creating.
That you're creating.
Right.
That I'm the idiot behind the microphone.
And
literally.
What does that say about me?
Did you produce the damn show?
I produce, direct, write, act, star in.
Yeah, no, I'm starring in this one.
Thank God. I was making fun of you though, because your setup is you look like that dude with like your hat and your hockey shirt and your Nike shoes behind you.
Well, I want to do something different.
Oh yeah, that's real different and there, buddy.
The closet is like the best place to do.
I know.
A podcast.
I just think it's funny that you said that you want to do something different.
But it is different for me. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're sitting in like a little studio thing here instead of in a closet.
This is a bonus room.
But it's set up like a studio.
Sure. You're right, babe. You're right.
I am right. But the closet's pretty badass. I like it.
It is.
Kind of closes everything off. No noise. I love it. It's great.
Do you love it?
I do love it.
It's great.
Anything else?
No, just sitting here like chewing on my teeth. I went to the orthodontist today and I have so much hardware in my mouth.
Well,
it's in, yeah. Well, they're like starting to like close up spaces and hopefully I'll have my braces off within the next 6 months. And it hurts so good.
That'll be different.
It hurts so good.
So good. Love it.
I love it too.
There we go. You ready to get to today's guest?
I am. Let's go.
So today's guest is Randy Haveson, and he has been sober since May 28th, 1984.
Wow.
Let that sink in. May 28th, 1984. Randy has written a book called Worth at Work. He also has one in the works as well, which I'm sure he's going to be talking about. Randy is from San Diego. Excuse me. And is going to talk to us the difference between being sober and in recovery, which I'm very interested to hear about. So please welcome to the show, Randy Haveson.
How are you?
Welcome to the show.
I'm really excited to be here. I love what you guys are doing and happy to support your efforts.
Awesome. Well, we're happy to support you too. It's funny because he said you've been sober since 1984. And I'm like, that was only like 16 years ago. What are you talking about? In my head, it's still like.
Just like let that sink in for me. Like, holy shit, man. That's a long time, Randy. Good
and
Lord.
it's weird for me too. Mm-hmm. It's sometimes people ask me, how long you been sober? And it's almost not embarrassing. I guess it's really humbling to say 42 years. To know that, a lot of people I'm talking to, I've been sober longer than they've been alive. So it's just so bizarre. Because I remember going to meetings. One of my first meetings, someone got a 90-day chip. And I was like, 90 days? That's like 3 months in a row? Oh, I don't know. So it's amazing what happens when you just one foot in front of the other. And here you are.
One foot in front of the other, one day at a time. And then here you are. I mean, it's unbelievable.
I think that's part of the key, though, is feeling like you're like always having that whole like, whoa, 90 days, like still having that sort of, it hasn't really been 42 years. No, it's just been like, a couple years, no big deal. But that is like the key component, because if every single day you feel excited and you feel like you're constantly reaching a milestone, then you chase that. And that's a good thing to chase. So I find that is like, you always say that. Like you will get on meetings where it's still like the 90-day meetings to listen to people, just to remember what that felt like. And I think that's really crucial.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Never forget where you started.
Yeah.
Tell us about your book and everything you have going on.
I'm so excited. my new book, the one we just released last week, it's called Worth at Work. And I took everything that I have learned in my professional life, in my sober life, in my personal growth, and I put it together because for a while I lived in Orlando and I worked at Disney World. And I had the best job in all of Disney World. I was the greeter at the Grand Floridian Resort. And yeah, it was just magic all day long. It was such a blast. And I have amazing stories from that too. But what it taught me was how this translates to the hospitality world and how important it is to create that magical experience for the guest. So I took that as well as my self-esteem work and my empowerment, and I put that into a book, and I did it with my co-author, Kat, who is she used to be my assistant. Now I call her my VP of everything. And we wrote the book together, and I love the way that it came out. So it's for anyone in a service industry to learn how to take better care of yourself, to take better care of your guests.
That's awesome. And that could apply to anybody, really.
Yeah.
It sounds like something that even if you're not in the service industry, it's just about navigating the world and people around you, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, this one's tailored more to service, but my other book that I'm working on, The Worth Evolution, that's the one that's kind of meant for everybody.
Oh,
Gotcha.
nice. Before we get on to sobriety, so we love Disney World. We've been taking our daughter since she was 3. She's 15
like
now.
4 times a year.
Well, and I used to say like, oh, she's going to turn into a teenager. She's going to be like, I don't want to go to Disney World with you guys. But that is the exact opposite. She's like, we're not going to Disney this year. What's wrong with you? When did you work there? Like, what years did you work there?
I was there probably 6 years ago to 3 years ago.
Wow. That's
So
pretty cool. I was going to see, I was like, we went there in 2014, I think. Yeah, 14.
Yeah.
And we took our daughter to the Cinderella dinner at the Grand Floridian. And I was like, what a small world if you were working there.
No, Small World is at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, that's at Magic Kingdom.
Right.
It's across the pond.
That's right. Right.
No, I wasn't there yet. No, that was before my time there.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Well, Randy, I teased about it before we brought you in. You often say that there's a difference between being sober and then being in recovery. So let's talk about that. I want to hear your perspective on that.
Sure. This is one of my favorite things to talk about. I noticed even in my early recovery time that there was a difference. There were these old timers that were sitting in the same seat, drinking coffee at 8 o'clock, a gallon of coffee at 8 o'clock at night, smoking a pack of cigarettes a day, and saying the same things at meetings. And I remember looking at them and saying, I don't want what they have. I want more than that. So I started on my personal growth issues, took a look at my ADD, my anxiety, childhood issues, what got me to that point of being addicted, and it got so out of control. And I realized it all came down to self-esteem. So I started doing my work and realized that I started to look at my life and sobriety differently. I noticed that I was happier, and I realized that the difference was the difference between just being sober and being in recovery. Being in recovery means you're doing the work. Being sober means you're collecting days. So being in recovery is a lot more difficult. This is why a lot of people go out at step 4 or at step 9, because they're afraid to go in and take a look at all that shit that's been piled up for years. The shame, the insecurities, the embarrassment, the I'm not good enough, which, it's so not true. So when we can look at that and overcome that, the gifts are just amazing what can happen. And I say it all the time, if we just get out of our own way, then life is going to be a lot more simple, and it's going to be a lot more incredible, beyond your wildest dreams.
I love that, because we do talk a lot about like the pink cloud and then also future tripping. I know that future tripping was a thing that you struggled with really bad.
Year, yeah.
And, the analogy that I use is like removing the substance removing the thing that is keeping you from reaching recovery is like taking antibiotics for an infection, right? Like it will help with the infection, it will help heal, but you have to figure out what's causing it to begin with to prevent it from coming back. And that's where recovery is, right? Because recovery is difficult because you're like, oh, I thought I just had to quit drinking or quit using and everything would fall into place. No, now you actually have to look at yourself in the mirror and reconcile things that you've done. Yes, take inventory of the things that took you to that space without coming from a victim mentality, because that's hard too. You know, we talk a lot about people in active addiction, and there's a huge component of it that is beyond their control. It's a disease, it's an addiction. It literally changes your entire brain chemistry and decision making. However, the responsibility is on that person alone to want that help, and it's always walking a tightrope. And so I love that you say that, because being sober is one thing, but being in recovery is another. Or people will call it like a dry drunk, which I feel lukewarm about that, but same kind of thing. I've never heard it explained like that. I think that's brilliant.
I haven't either. That's the first time, and I was kind of wondering how you were going to, put a spin on that, because I've never heard that before. And you are 100% correct, because I do notice, a lot of people in the rooms that I go to, they're piling up days, but nothing changes. With yourself or your thinking and things like that. And like myself, it took me a little while, about 6 months, before I really figured out I got to work on myself here. I mean, not drinking is great, but at what point am I going to stop being an asshole? And then that's really when you start the work.
Exactly. And that's it. And I watch a lot of people who, I call it changing seats on the Titanic. Their problem is alcohol, but now they're smoking weed, or it's gambling and now it's sex. So it's one thing or another, but it's all the same. It's keeping you from getting in touch with who you are and looking at those issues. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. It's almost like being sober is just the detox phase.
Yeah.
Like you remove it because you can't be in recovery until you reset your nervous system, your way of thinking, how you process information, reflection, all those things. Yeah, I just think that's brilliant. I'd never heard anybody explain it like that. And I think that is awesome. And I like the little Titanic analogy too.
So
and also,
let's go.
Let me bring up one more point, because you reminded me. I just wrote something the other day. I woke up Saturday. I usually take weekends off, but I woke up Saturday and in my head was this thing, and I just went and started writing, and it was awesome what came out of me. It was all about choices. And a couple of the things that I wrote is, I am not in control of, and I did not cause my addiction, but I do have a choice what I want to do about it. I did not choose to have ADD, but what I do with it is my choice. So these things happen. I didn't choose to have what happened to me in my past happen, but it did. What I choose to do about it is now up to me. So that's where the choice comes in. That's where the empowerment comes in. And that's why getting support from others and walking through this is a vital part of the recovery process.
Yeah. I mean, you can't just like pull what to do out of the clouds. You need the resources. And to piggyback on that, I always say that it's figuring out how to respond to things and situations and people instead of reacting. And they are very, very different things. The reactions are emotionally driven and responses are reflective. They are thoughtful. And sometimes your response is no response. Like not everything warrants a response. I think we as human beings, like we listen to respond. I mean, and it's just part of human nature. Or if there's a problem, we try to fix it. If there was a problem, we'll solve it. Sorry, that just like popped into my head. I had to say it out loud. It was a little ADHD regurgitation. But the hardest thing for me was realizing not everything needs a response. Sometimes it's just you let it go. And that is harder than it sounds. And I know we're going to get to how you got sober and what that journey looks like, but I'm really interested to talk to you about the ADHD and neurodivergent part of it too, because that was a huge thing for me. Huge.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. So speaking of choices, obviously in 1984, you made a choice. So what was it that led up to that changed your mind and you got sober?
Yeah. My bottom was actually May 16th, 1984. I got a letter from San Diego State University telling me that I was expelled for the second time. And that was about a month after I got fired from my job delivering pizza. And I was having like suicidal thoughts. I'm a piece of shit. I'm worthless. I'm just a burden to my family. My friends only want to be around me when I have drugs or alcohol. Who am I? What am I? I'm done. So my plan was to go up to my bedroom. I sat on my bed. I was going to close my bedroom door, put a note on the door that said, "Don't come in, just call 911. I was going to sit in the bathtub so that I don't make a mess. I got out a dive knife that my parents gave me as a holiday gift one year, and I knew that you cut down and not across if you were serious. And I thought, well, can you cut one and then switch hands and cut the other? And I thought, maybe I'll just slice open my throat instead. And I stood up and went to my bathroom mirror to see where to start. And I looked in the mirror and I went, what the fuck are you doing? Oh my God. And it occurred, the thought just hit me, oh my God, you have a drug problem. Out of nowhere. It was that moment of clarity that I had. And I thought, now what do? I really don't want to die. I just want out. I just want to stop. And another thought popped into my head. A couple years before that, me and my friend Todd were high as we could be, walking across the street to a Denny's to get something to eat. And I looked up and there was a billboard and it said, drug problem? If so, call 1-800-BE-SOBER. And for some reason, a couple years later, I remembered that billboard. And it took me 45 minutes to make that phone call. I was what do I say? How do I start the conversation? I don't know. And I thought, I'm just going to call. And 45 minutes later, dialed the numbers, picked up the phone. The woman answered. She said, Be Sober hotline. I said, I think I have a drug problem. And she said, well, I'm glad you called. And we talked for an hour and a half. And I really believe that woman, I don't know who she was, what her name is, but she happened to be there on that night. And she gave me that one thing that I needed, and that was hope. And she told me she had been sober, and if she could do it, I could do it. And I don't know why, but I believed her. And a series of events over the next few days, I found the book 1-800-COCAINE. I called that number. They sent me to a treatment center and said, go get an evaluation. I went to get an evaluation. The guy said, you sound really motivated to get sober. I don't think you need to come in here yet. Here's the name of a therapist. Call him. And if you relapse, we'll check you back in. I was like, all right. And I have not relapsed since. So that was May 16th was the last time I did cocaine, the last time I smoked weed. I still drink because I'm not an alcoholic. I know what alcoholics look like, and that's not me. Until May 27th, I went out with a cousin of mine to a club. Actually, it was in Las Vegas. I went to a strip. My last drink was at a strip club in Las Vegas. I like saying that. And
I love it. Yeah, that's great.
That's a great way to have it.
Yeah. They had a 2-drink minimum. I had my 2 drinks because I can control it. And I thought, well, maybe I'll just have one more. And before I knew it, I was out of money, spent it all on alcohol and the girls. And the next day I woke up and went, shit, I'm an alcoholic too. So May 28th, 1984, that's the first day that I was completely sober, and I knew I never wanted to look back. I was done.
Wow.
What a hell of a story.
Yeah. Matter of a few weeks, just bam.
Yeah.
That's
and
unreal.
The cool part is I ended up going back to school sober, and I not only finished my bachelor's degree, but I got a master's degree. Wow. And I started working as a counselor, and I won't go into the whole story, but I started speaking at high schools, and then I spoke at a college. And the woman at the college called me one day and said, "Hey, Randy, I'm up here in Northern California. There's a college that's looking for someone to run their alcohol and drug program on their campus. Can I give them your name?" I'm like, they used to throw me out of colleges, right? And now go work at one. And I ended up working on 4 different college campuses, and I had award-winning health education programs, and I was working with peer educators and speaking in classes, and it was so much fun. But I thought, if I can go from there, of getting kicked out of college twice, to working on 4 college campuses, anything is possible as long as I just stay out of my own way. And that's been my mantra throughout my entire recovery, is stay out of my own way. Because my head wants to screw things up. But when I can pause and settle in, go from my heart, I love that old Chinese saying that says the longest and most difficult journey we ever make in our life is from here to here.
Oh yeah. It's like, I talk about this a lot. I'm like, when people say, "Oh my God, it's all in your head," I'm like, right. Right. That's a huge statement.
Absolutely.
You are correct. Ding, ding, ding. And yeah, it's so true. Like, I think the biggest thing for people, understandably, and this is from fear, is how do I get there? What do I do next? And there's not really an answer, right? Like, even now, it's all I know is that if I wake up in the morning and I don't use, and I try to make the best decisions towards my goals one step at a time, that good things will happen. Because it's not to say like, oh my gosh, if I stay sober and I'm thoughtful and I do this kumbaya, that nothing bad will ever happen. It's saying that good things will happen, because even when tragedy and trauma strike, which is inevitable, I don't care who you are, how much money you have, where you come from, shit happens. It's going to happen to everybody. I will be in a place where I have conditioned myself and trained myself to respond to that situation rather than react, even if that response is just to sit with it. And that's another thing too, is, like with my ADHD and anxiety, and I have binge eating disorder, you don't need to be fixed because you're not broken. You simply just don't understand the way that your body processes information and the societal pressures and all of the things that are working against you, genetics, everything. And that was pivotal to me, like I'm on medication, but I got there because I had a great practitioner, and I talk about this a lot on the podcast, who sat down with me, talked to me, listened to me, really observed the way that I, navigated situations, and really was like, listen, there's no button. There's nothing that is going to be like, oh my gosh, my problems are solved, because they're not problems. They're life situations. That's it. Like, okay, so maybe you crave alcohol or gambling or sex. Okay. But that's okay. We crave all sorts of things. We have, like, I remember being a kid and growing up and going to, you do crave ice cream all the time, every day. But I grew up in I went to a Baptist school, and I remember going to my mom and being like, Mom, sometimes I have these like horrible thoughts in my head, just like randomly popping in. Am I going to hell? She was like, of course not. Like, that's normal, honey. Like, it's just, we don't control our thoughts. We feel them and let them go. And that really is an example for everything, right? Like, okay, so you're struggling with this. That's okay. It doesn't mean it's going to go away, but it also means you sit with it. And the more you sit with it, the more, not desensitized isn't really the word, but like, for me, if something is familiar and I'm like, oh, I recognize this, then it's way more comfortable and it's way more tangible for me too. So it's just over time, right? You condition yourself to that. Because I know that a lot of people say, oh, you just make good decisions and things fall in your lap. Well, you also are paying more attention to these positive things than you are these negative things. 100%. You're opening more doors than you're closing. And so, sorry, I just I resonate with that a whole lot. When my doctor looked at me and said I had binge eating disorder and OCD, I laughed. I was like, whatever. I am not. I don't have to like flip my light switches a million times. And she was like, that's a really ignorant thing to say. And that's not how that works. But yeah, it just opens you up to understanding everything about yourself. You were like that. You were shocked that like alcohol wasn't the thing that pulled you. It was gambling more than the alcohol.
Yeah, 100%. They just went hand in hand.
Yeah.
But it's funny how you eliminate one thing, how easy it is to eliminate the other.
Uh-huh.
Just like it was like a group effort type deal. It's crazy.
Just like Randy.
Just
I'm
like
not
Randy.
an alcoholic.
That's right.
I got this on lock. I go to Vegas strip clubs,
right.
not dirty ones. I go to the nice ones.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I mean, they had a billboard on top of a taxi. I mean, that's a classy place.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's classy.
Well, steakhouses are up there.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So Randy,
So you brought up something that I put in my book. Right now, the book is called Becoming Your Own BFF, but it's about to evolve into the worth evolution. And I talk about how we have two voices in our head. One of them is the bully voice, and one is the best friend voice. And a lot of people default to the bully voice. It's that one that's always putting you down and telling you you're not good enough, and all of those you can't do that, and look at you, and all of those negatives. But there's that other whisper, the best friend voice. What would your best friend say to you in that instance? Hey, it was just a mistake. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. You'll walk through this one too. You're okay. And the more you work on self-esteem, the best friend voice gets louder, the bully voice gets softer. It doesn't disappear completely. It's always, both of them are always there, but it's which one do you want to listen to?
And they're reciprocals of each other. You can also twist that to be like, what if your bully voice you're not giving as much energy to, and rather you're using more of like a devil's advocate? Like it's just keeping you aware. And, when I say like criticism or critical, I don't mean it in a negative way, right? Like we do need a little judgment on ourselves in a positive way, because it pushes us to do good things. I mean, this is a topic that could go on forever, but life is taking a little bit of all of the stuff and realizing that your brain and your body is always trying to stay alive and protect you. And so a lot of people are more afraid of succeeding, right? Because if you show up, then you have, now there's expectations and responsibilities. If I keep fucking up every day and I'm a loser and I'm worthless, then nobody expects anything else. I can go and crash my car or spend my money or be like, oh yeah, here we go. Like no one expects anything different. But if I actually get sober and show up, like, what does that look like? I have to actually perform. I don't know that I'm up for that task. And that can be really scary, but you are up for the task. Just so you know, you're up for it. Promise.
Yep.
So Randy, 40 years into sobriety.
Amazing.
What are you still working on today?
Oh,
Everything.
everything. It's a never ending.
But I mean, is there one thing that still kind of gets you though? I mean, really, that, you're sober for decades. I mean, is there something that, daily you're still having to work on?
Daily? The thing that keeps popping up for me is taking on too much. And I will kind of overload so that I don't have to focus on one thing. And a part of that is my ADD. A part of it is my addictive tendency, where give me more.
Yeah.
So I constantly have to say, okay. In fact, my AI program called me on my shit last week. I thought, I have another idea for a book. And what do you think about blah, 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 blah. And my AI came back, Randy, you're already working on 3. That's your ADD talking. You need to really slow down. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Shut up, chat. What do you know?
Yeah. So actually it was Claude. Yeah. Claude. And because I think I said to her one time, I want you to be honest and real with me. I don't want to just, you just tell me what you think I want to hear. And it was like, okay. And it does. So yeah, when your AI is calling you on your shit, then
That's a new one. Yeah.
That's
So
so
yeah, I
funny.
tend to take on too much. That's the one thing but that's a self-esteem thing too. I mean, even though I've been talking about this for, God, 30 something years, I still work on it also. Self-esteem is not something that you're perfect at or that I will ever be perfect at. And that's why, one of the books I am working on is Generational Perfectionism, because the perfectionistic tendencies that we have were given to us mostly by our parents, but they got it from their parents, who got it from their parents. So this is a generational thing. Once I understood that, I was no longer angry at my parents, but I now had compassion for them because they didn't have the tools that I have. In Worth Evolution, I'm talking about how we're at a time in history where we can have podcasts like this. We can openly talk about ADD and depression and sexual assault and gambling and eating disorders and get support and realize we're not alone. Our parents didn't have that. So the evolution of the human is that now we're more aware of and can talk about these things, which I think is going to make us a better species as we move forward. Right now our society is hitting a bottom. And what's going to come out of that is a recovery aspect of us hopefully supporting each other and having that we over me mentality.
And it's a pendulum, right? Like sometimes the pendulum is all the way over here. So naturally it's going to swing all the way over here when ideally, it needs to be here. And it does, right? It ebbs and flows. And again, this is that change in perspective and mentality where you say, okay, things might be a shitstorm right now, but it also causes like people to rise up, and I can't remember, it was during like a mass shooting or bombing or something like that. And it was, they were interviewing, like a news station was interviewing a dad, and they said, what do you tell your kids in these times, right? In these horrific times. And he says, I tell my kids when horrible things happen, unfathomable things happen, look for the helpers and the healers. Quit paying attention to not paying attention to the devastation, but like look at the people who are helping and healing. Because when shit hits the fan, when life is lifing, there is this influx of people who are like, okay, this is our moment. We have to rise up. And there's something really, really beautiful that happens there. My mom used to say she loved firefighters. She said, because when everyone else is running away from the fire, they're running towards it. And so she was like, there's just, and we are drawn to that, right? I think that the vast majority of people are good. I think there are very, very few like truly evil people in the world. And even then, conversation for another day, but is that a mental disorder? We're not talking about that today, but I think that people act out of fear, truly believing that what they're doing is protecting something good, right?
Yes.
So if you shed all of the other bullshit and you try to be a helper and a healer and give back to those communities, you really get to the essence of what keeps you in recovery too. Because everyone I know in recovery, they like live in that space. They're like, well, I feel so good. I want to help and heal other people too. And in return, it ends up helping you. Like this podcast, I thought I knew what recovery was. Okay. How ignorant to everything I was. In every single podcast, I'm like, whoa, that blows my mind. And that's what it's about too.
You learn something new. Just like every meeting I attend, you get, even just the smallest thing, you're always going to get something out of it, no matter what.
Yeah. And they're like, are you ever going to stop talking about it? No, no, I won't ever, because there's so much goodness. And I would imagine after 40 years, you seem like the kind of guy who wakes up and every day is like, whoa, like that really blew my mind today. I never thought about it that way. And that's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, today I woke up, I have this PR person who's booking me on all these podcasts, and she said, "Oh, Randy, I got a good one for you. It's called Sober as Fuck." I'm like, yes, I want to be on that one. That's going to be so much fun. Because, here it's early in the morning, And I didn't care. I woke up, I was all energized. I took my shower. I'm like, wow, what a gift that I get to go do this today. So, you were talking about this earlier, reminding me of something. I got into a habit early in my recovery, and now I don't do it as much, but I do it throughout the day. I start my day with, what are 3 things I have to be grateful for? Mm-hmm. Because in the morning, my head wants, oh my God, you have this to do and that to do. And oh, I can't believe you said that. And it wants to go off on all that negative stuff. But if I can pause, what are 3 things that I'm grateful for? Even if it's just, I slept in a bed last night. Mm-hmm. I have food in the refrigerator that I get to have for breakfast. And yeah, I have someone in my life who loves me today. Or whatever that 3rd thing is. What are 3 things you have to be grateful for? And when you can start there, then the day is better.
Mm-hmm. You're setting your intentions for the day. That was big for you too.
Yeah. In the beginning, I would say probably the first year and a half of my recovery, every morning when I journal, I would do that. Right. Mm-hmm. 3 things I was grateful for to start the day off. Mm-hmm. It really seemed to just put you in a good mood. I mean, really, you think about 3 things that you truly love, or someone loves you, whatever. It puts a smile on your face and you're ready to attack the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but look at you starting your day journaling. That is awesome. That is one of the best tools that people can use. And, again, the worth evolution. I remember my therapist told me back in 1985, Randy, I want you to journal. I'm like, dude, I'm not journaling. Journaling's for girls. I'm not doing that. Because that's you think about the diary and all that. And I started journaling, and all this stuff started pouring out of me. And it's such an amazing way to get those thoughts that are in your head outside of your head on that paper. So there's so many beautiful tools out there. So the fact that you're journaling and writing about gratitude, what an awesome way to kickstart your day.
Yeah, I do it. I do it in the morning after a workout, and then I do it at night before I go to bed. And the release at night is phenomenal because, somebody pissed me off, something went bad, something went wrong, something I could improve on. Mm-hmm. As soon as I write it out, it's out of my head. Mm-hmm. And then the night's sleep is just phenomenal. And, thinking back to when, I was in active addiction, that's the shit that kept me up all nights, because you're sitting there thinking about it. And you have nowhere to put it but the journaling part of it. And like yourself, I thought the same thing. I'm like, Jesus, man, this is what chicks do. I'm keeping a diary here. Mm-hmm. And couldn't be further from the truth. It's just amazing once you put pen to paper, or even just grab your phone. And, there was a journal app on all the phones now. Mm-hmm. It's amazing how well that clears your head. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
And it's something doable for everybody too. Easily. That's another thing as well, because, we talk a lot about accessibility and privilege. Like not everybody has the money to download an app. Not everybody has transportation, especially when you're talking about people in the thick of addiction. They may not. So, I tell people, listen, start with, try to get 8 hours of sleep a night if that's something that is doable for you. Drink some water, journal. And I love journaling too, because the goal is not perfection. You're never going to get rid of the negative thoughts. And sometimes they're very, very heavy. And again, it's about responding. And that's a great way to respond to it rather than react, is to journal. Because, and I even know people who will write all the negative shit that's in their head, no matter how bad it is. And they're like, I give myself like 5 minutes to just like write. And then I fold it up and tear it or burn it or whatever. And that's my way of saying, okay, I'm letting go of all of this, and it no longer is a part of me. Anything, they talk about higher power in the 12 steps. Like, what's the difference between prayer and meditation, manifestation? It's all the same thing. You are projecting positivity out. You're talking about what you're grateful for. You're setting intentions for things that you need help with. You're asking for patience. Any of those things, right? It doesn't have to be one specific thing. And journaling is very much a form of prayer. Yeah. It is a practice that I think has been life-saving for you. I would like to say that I've jumped on the journal bandwagon, but I haven't. And a lot of that is my ADHD. because it
You
just
know what?
stops
Just
me
say
before I even
not
get
yet.
there.
Well,
There you go,
here's
not yet.
when I started, my therapist said, I want you to write every day for 2 weeks. I don't care what you write, how much you write, something goes on paper every day. And the first day I got out an old notebook from college and I'm staring at the paper. I have no idea what to write. Oh, he told me it doesn't matter how much I write. So I wrote, I don't know what to write. And the next day was much easier. I still don't know what to write. And the next day, I still don't know what to write. And I'm really pissed off at Charlie for making me do this.
And there you go.
The next day, I'm still pissed off. And, today at school, blah, blah, blah. And all this stuff just
comes
it's about
pouring out.
starting the process, and then it just comes out. So 2 weeks, something goes on paper for 2 weeks every day.
Yep. Hell, it could be a grocery list, just anything, just pen to paper.
Anything that's in your head.
Just to get it started.
And now you're writing books.
That's right.
And giving speeches. Could you imagine 40 years ago being like, you're going to write books and you're going to go around, you're going to talk to people, and they're actually going to want to listen to what you have to say?
Yeah, no way. If you scripted this for me back then, I would have thought, there's no way I can do that. No. Yeah.
What a good feeling.
Oh, talk about gratitude. Again, it's all about getting out of your own way and one foot in front of the other. I would, when I worked at the colleges, I would go to these conferences and I'd hear people do the presentations and I think, I can do that. So I started doing it, and that turned into a career in professional speaking for 20 years. So I was thinking, when was the last time I got up this early to do a presentation? And I thought, it was when I spoke to the U.S. Coast Guard Academy at 0700.
Oh, wow.
And and I thought, I spoke to the U.S. Coast Guard Academy. Wow, a druggie and a drunk who can't even deliver a pizza. And now I'm doing that? Whoa. So the gratitude is just
incredible.
It's whelming.
You're so right about that.
Anyone can do it.
We get a lot of people, like I've always been kind of a chatty Cathy, and when people meet me at first in the raw, it's like I'm either that weird kid in the corner not saying anything, or like you're going to know everything about me, including like when my last period was and all about like my vaginal delivery of my daughter, like just way too much. But the transformation between then and now, and having people reach out to us and actually wanting to hear, and he was always very closed off. And so people would say, I can't believe Ryan is just like talking about all this shit in the open, right? Like you guys just put everything out there. And it's like, right? That part of me that was the weird girl who was quiet or saying too much was because I was so insecure in myself that I was like, if I started talking, then I would never stop. And then you get nervous and then you're worried about what you're going to say, or you completely shut down. And you, who like never wanted to talk about anything, it's so freeing, like there is nothing that anyone could say about us. We'd be like, we actually talked about that on season 2, episode, whatever, 19. And that helps me sleep at night. That whole, like, I'm not looking over my shoulder for anything. There are no lies. There's no hiding. That is the best. Because for so long, especially in our marriage, there was a lot of hiding, a lot of manipulation, a lot of, pretending, and that bleeds over into your other relationships too, right? May start here, but it bleeds over. I love waking up in the morning and being like, you get what you see.
That's right.
Yeah. And you like what you see. Which is the best. When you can look in the mirror and be proud of the person who looks back at you, that's like the greatest gift of all. You said this, it reminded me, I say this all the time, that one promise of the promises of the anonymous programs, you are going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. That happens at different levels the more you work on yourself. It's not like you get that one once. That one continues to evolve as you evolve. I mean, the freedoms and the happiness that I have today, I didn't even know existed 20 years ago, 40 years ago, definitely. So it's always a work in progress.
Very much same. What I'm going to say before you get to your question is, I love that you brought this up. there's no finish line. Like, that's another thing that people go in, like, when am I going to reach this state of nirvana? The whole part is nirvana, because every day that you don't use or drink, every day that you make, even if it's your worst day and you make one good decision, that's what it's about, right? Like, even on my worst day now, I love myself so much more than my best day before.
Yep.
So much
Absolutely.
more, because I accept, okay, it just didn't happen for me today. That's okay. I'm a human. Like, I can only control so many things. Tomorrow I'm going to wake up and hopefully be better, and I'm just going to try my hardest. And it does teach you, like, perseverance, right? I find myself, if I fail at something now, I'm like, okay, well, let's just tweak it a little and try again. Let's just tweak it a little. Like, let's just keep changing up what we're doing and keep trying. There's not that feeling of like, oh my gosh, like, I can't do this. You know, it used to be like, you try something like, see, like weaponized incompetence, like, see, I can't do anything right. Might as well just go and drink or feel sorry for myself. Like, what's even the point? Now I'm like, no, like, I'm going to get this right. Which sometimes can be bad with my ADHD, because then it's 2 a.m. and he's like, give it a rest.
I'm sleeping.
Reading.
Yeah.
Reading is
also, just to let you know, I did not get diagnosed for my ADD until I was 50 years old.
Whoa.
Wow.
I was already like 20-something years sober, and someone was like, why don't you go get an evaluation? And the psychiatrist said, I've been doing evaluations for 20 years. You have the most severe case I've ever seen. I'm like, yay, I'm number one.
Yeah, all right.
Good. So no matter how...
initials after my name.
But see, then I realized why cocaine was my drug of choice. Because I was self-medicating.
Yeah.
I mean, other people were like, oh, I'm paranoid. Oh, and I'm like, I can get shit done. I feel great. I took it to the point of addiction, but it was that stimulant that medicated the ADD, and I felt normal. So everything kind of fell into place and made sense when I got that diagnosis. And now when things get crazy, it's like, is that my ADD talking? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely. Yeah. I was like that with weed. I was like, I felt like I needed it all the time, because it turned the volume down, and it was just made me like move a lot slower. Little did I know, I was just walking around high all the time. Oh my God. Like, what am I doing? Now I look at myself and I'm like, who has time for that? I got shit to do. But I was diagnosed with all my stuff too when I was 35. And it's crazy, because I thought my whole life I just had horrible anxiety from trauma and whatever else. And my doctor was like, actually, you're ADHD and you also are OCD. And I think that those two combinations together, untreated, are what is creating this anxiety, because you're getting overstimulated, you're getting frustrated. I mean, I was like, no way. What do you know, doctor? You know? And it was so true. Once I started therapy and treating my ADHD and really coming to terms with my OCD, my anxiety just, I mean, it's still there, but it is minuscule compared to what it was before.
Yep.
That's fucking badass.
It is.
Randy, we get a lot of people, a lot of our listeners kind of starting out new, fresh. When I say new, probably within a year or two of recovery. What would you give someone as far as like 3 daily habits for them to really build a meaningful recovery?
Number 1, don't drink or use, no matter what. No matter fucking what. Do not drink or use. It will make any situation worse, not better. Number 2, find things in your life to be grateful for. Gratitude is the key to making that switch to a more positive mindset. And number 3, look for ways to be of service to others. Whether it's opening the door for somebody, my thing when I'm at the grocery store and it's my turn at the cashier and they're like, hi, how are you today? I'm like, I'm doing great. How are you today? Oh, thanks for asking. Yeah, how's your day going? Has it been all right? Oh, Yeah. Just those little things. Service doesn't have to be, I'm going to give a day to Habitat for Humanity. That's great if you do that. But little ways to be of service to others, smile at someone or someone's having a bad day, give them a call. So it's about stay clean, find gratitude, be of service. Those would be
I
my
love
three.
that. I actually taught my daughter that. I think it was about my first year of recovery. Was every time we go to the grocery store and we talk to the cashier, I always ask them how their day is.
Yeah.
And just engage with them, because it seems even people in a drive-through or something like that, just ask them, hey, how's your day going?
Yeah. Exactly.
And for whatever reason, they seem to always smile and respond with a good response, because somebody actually asked them, how are you doing, instead of them asking you all the time, which I think is phenomenal. It's a great way to always start out a conversation.
Absolutely.
I've been doing this for a while, but I've started giving like just random compliments, right? Because it goes towards self-worth. And you know, our daughter, she'll be like, oh my God, Mom, like you talk to everybody. But I'll be like, oh my God, I love your nails.
Yeah.
Or if there's a guy, I'll be like, I love that shirt. Or, I mean, and it's not really gender specific, but I told her, I said, honey, like the majority of people really just feel like shit about themselves. They feel like, oh my God, nobody wants to be me. So sometimes that's what prompts that gratitude, to be like, oh my gosh, I love those shoes. Oh my gosh, your eyes are so beautiful. Like, I love the color of your eyes. Just anything, because it can be that little thing to let them know, like, I noticed that. Like, that's amazing. And it really does bump up that self-esteem a little bit, because then for the rest of the day, hopefully, there's something about them that is like, oh, I have beautiful eyes.
That's
or,
right.
you know what? My nails do look
They're on
amazing.
point
You
today.
know, like stuff like that. I mean, it just is that little bit, because we're rushing through life all of the time. And I'm guilty of it too, right? Like, you're on the phone, you're doing this. Sometimes you don't have time for that, and that's okay. But when you do, I think that's so important, because it's contagious. You know,
is.
it is very contagious.
Well, Randy, before Jessica gets to the last question, I do want you to tell all of our audience where they can find you, where they can find your books, information on you. Where can we find you?
The books are all on Amazon.
Okay.
Right now, the ones that are released are Worth at Work and Becoming Your Own BFF. Within the next few months, Worth Evolution is going to be coming out. And after that, I'm going to work on generational perfectionism. All of them can be found on my website, randyhaveson.com. And also I set up worthatwork.com also for the hospitality service industry and that book. So those are the two best places to find me.
That's amazing. And we will actually have your books on our Amazon storefront, which is on our website as well.
Cool.
So we definitely like to help our people out.
Appreciate it.
Now, I gave you a little sneak peek at the last question, okay? And I told you we've opened it up. So we ask everybody to look back in the height of their, colorful days and think about something that sticks with you. It could be something hilarious, like you pissed yourself in public. It could be a pivotal moment that just like sticks with you. Whatever the first, like kind of like what your therapist said, the first thing that pops into your head.
The one that sticks in my head more than any other is me and my buddy Todd, who was like my brother when I was in the final stages. I got sober, he didn't. He died of a heroin overdose. But we were ticket scalpers. So we'd go buy tickets and then go sell them for more, and we made money, and then we used that money to go buy drugs. And we bought tickets, and I forgot that we even did this. My pattern was, in the morning, I would go through my pockets to remember what I did the night before. There would be a matchbook or a receipt or something, because I was a blackout drinker. And one day I woke up and I looked through my pants pockets and I took something out of my back pocket and I went, what? It was a ticket stub to a Black Sabbath concert. We went and saw Black Sabbath, and I had no memory whatsoever of seeing Black Sabbath. This was like 1981, 1980. I mean, back when they were like in the thick of it. And I called him. I said, dude, did we go to Black Sabbath last night? He's like, oh my God, it was amazing. I'm like, I don't remember anything. He said, well, we have tickets for tonight too. I was like, oh, yes. So I was sober and I went and saw Black Sabbath that second time. But that was a little wake up call when I saw that ticket stub and I didn't even remember being at the concert.
And that's what happens, right? Like,
moment.
You don't just numb out all the bad stuff, you numb out all the good stuff too. I was about to say that sucks, but at least you got to go see it.
At least you got to go see it, which is amazing.
And when I got sober, I'm like, how am I going to enjoy music now? How am I going to go to concerts? And I go to concerts now. I love
much better.
them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so much better. Yeah.
Oh, so much better. My daughter and I are going to Boston for my birthday to see Ariana Grande, and like, she is so excited. We see concerts all the time, but I think this is the first time that she and I are going to a concert, just the two of us. These two jagaloons went and saw Stevie Nicks together, and I had to work, and I'm not over it.
Yeah,
that was the concerts I've ever seen.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
Ariana Grande is going to be great. Like, she's very talented, classically trained. It's going to be great with my daughter. But fuck you for seeing Stevie Nicks. I'm so pissed.
Yeah.
I'm
so actually taking my daughter to see AC/DC in Vegas in 2 weeks.
Oh, that's awesome. Is it at the Sphere? Is it at the Sphere in Vegas? Are they playing there?
No, it's at the Allegiant Stadium. It's the big one. It's
wow.
a stadium show.
Better. Oh,
yeah,
that's awesome.
And it's her 21st birthday. So she called me and said, Dad, can we go see AC/DC? I'm like, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. We were in London a few years ago, and she said, Dad, did you know the Rolling Stones are playing in Hyde Park on Saturday? I'm like, let's go.
Right.
So I took my daughter to see the Stones in London.
That's amazing.
Randy, that's
see,
so
those
awesome,
are the gifts of recovery, too.
Yeah.
When you show up, amazing. The universe will just provide amazing opportunities.
Yeah. Was it last year you got me tickets to Alanis Morissette?
Yeah, it was Alanis last year. Yeah.
So Joan Jett opened for her.
Wow.
I'm in love.
Yeah, that was a concert all on its own. She's incredible.
Fucking amazing. And I've always known she's amazing, but watching her on stage, I'm like,
she can wail. It is unreal.
She's a little powerhouse.
Oh,
yes, she
my
is.
God. And her guitar, I mean, she just rocks out. And I thought, man, that was a concert.
That's right.
I don't know what I would do if somebody's like, Joan Jett's opening for you. I'd be like, you mean I'm opening for Joan Jett?
That's
They're like, no, she's opening for you. I'd be like, that's impossible.
That's unreal.
She was
cool.
fucking fantastic. I mean, it was so much fun. And we were sober, obviously. And our daughter went, and she thought that, she's like, Mom, you're dancing. I was like, hell yeah, I'm dancing. Do you see that sexy lady up there grinding on her guitar? This is amazing. But totally. That's what recovery gives you, right? Is I remember every bit of it, just like I'll remember every bit of this. We're not going to talk about Stevie Nicks. I'll never get over it. But yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Randy, thank you so much for joining us today and giving us all your knowledge. Congratulations on your sobriety, over 40 years, brother. That is incredible.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
And I hope you guys have a blast at AC/DC.
Yes, have fun.
Oh, we will. And I'm going to Disney World in January, so let's hook up dates. Maybe
when we will probably be there as well.
We normally go there for like right after Christmas, or we go in February for our daughter's birthday.
Yep.
So we definitely have to make that happen.
Nice.
All right,
keep
Randy.
in touch. Yeah.
Thanks, brother.
We'll
talk to you
All
soon.
the best to you. Keep doing what you're doing.
You too.
Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much. If you love the podcast, which I know you do, please like, subscribe,
and hit that notification bell to get
Boom.
notified every time we post.
That's right. Dropping them, baby. Word.